Shalom, Israel. Shalom, 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 shalom. Y'all bear with me, man. Internet running slow today, man. Got a lot of extraneous weather going on over here in the great Pacific Northwest, right? Which is known in Babylon the Great, right? That great city of Babylon. I want to say shalom to the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans who are the true biblical Israelites the Bible speaks of, God's chosen people, his treasure, right? You are the lot of his inheritance. I want to say shalom to everybody in the chat. Shalom to all the brothers who are on the highways and hedges, who are keeping the law, statutes, and commandments at the best of your ability, hoping that we can be beamed up out of this wicked captivity. I want to say shalom to all the sisters out there who are reverencing their households, being submissive to their husbands, operating in the spirit of our mighty foremothers. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Again, y'all bear with me, right? Got this damn internet running slow, but hey, we're going to try to get this out anyway. As you see, the title, World War III is on the rise. It's on the rise. There's nothing that y'all can do about it to stop it from happening. There's nothing that our enemies can do to stop it from happening. But we're going to get into this thing. These are exciting times that we are living in. And if you in the chat, hey, you got to give the Most High some praise, right? Put them hand claps in the chat because we are living in these last days. Put those hand claps and fire emojis. Hit that like button, man, right? Because we about to give y'all some news, which I'm pretty sure you guys have been hearing. As we've seen, plenty of our brothers, man, have been talking on this matter, have been giving you guys updates as far as what's going on with World War III. So again, we say, call halal, Yahweh, Ba'Shem Mashiach, Kamalak Yahushai, right? Let's get into it, right? I'm going to share my screen. We're going to start with Revelation chapter 11. Y'all Revelation chapter 11. Right? Bear with me. One second. All right. This is Revelation chapter 11. We're going to start at verse 14. Revelation 11 and 14. It says, the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. So what is woe? Y'all should know in the chat, woe is destruction. It says that the second destruction has already passed, but behold, the third destruction cometh quickly. Now, what is this going into? All types of destruction, but chiefly dealing with the biggest destructions, the largest woes that we've had in the history of mankind, which is dealing with World War I, World War II, and pretty soon, as you see, that's getting ready to come, World War III. So the Lord said that the World War III, that the third woe is coming quickly. This is why we have to get our spirits prepared. You know what I'm saying? Get the hell up out of Babylon mentally. Start keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments. Because guess what? This third woe is going to come quick, right? But what does it say right after this third war, this World War III? What's going to happen? Verse 15. And the seventh angel sounded, right? The seven trumpets, right? The seventh angel sounded, and there were great voices in heaven saying, the kingdoms of this world are become the kingdoms of our Lord and of his Christ, and he shall reign forever and ever. So when this World War III kicks off, pretty much right after that is when the Most High is going to send his son Christ to come back, man, and deliver the children of Israel, right? You're going to hear the great voices in heaven. Remember, we're living in a heaven right now that's controlled under the hands of the so-called white man, the damn devil the Bible speaks of. And when we see this happen, if Lord willing, if we get beamed up while all this turmoil is going on, right, we're going to be saying, hey, the kingdoms of this world has now become the kingdom of Yahweh through his son Yahweh Shai, which is why it says, and of his Christ, and he shall reign forever and ever. That's a beautiful thing. This is why we're celebrating as far as the destruction and turmoil that we are seeing, right? Not only dealing with Russia versus Ukraine, right? At one point you had China against Taiwan. Now we're seeing, right, Palestine against Israelis. That's what we're going to call them. That's what they like to be called, right? I'm not going to say Israel. I'm not referring to them as Israel because they're not the real Israel. They are imposters, right? And the modern day Palestinians are also imposters, right? Understand that Palestine goes back to the Philistines, which are Hamites. But of course, we don't see Hamites, right, in this current war that we're seeing right now between the two, right? You have Ishmael against Ishmael, or Ishmael against, you know what I'm saying, Ashkenaz, or Ishmael against Edomites. And again, we say, call Halal Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai for that, right? You have to rejoice in the time that we're seeing, because these are exciting times that we're living in. These are exciting times that we're living in, right? I'm going to go to Revelation 9, right? Bear with me. Right? Talk about the three woes. Here we go. Let's go to Revelation 9. Let's start at verse 12. And it says, one woe is past. World War I has already passed, y'all. Right? While you got the so-called white man, they want us to remember, right, and pay homage on Memorial Day. You know what I'm saying? All these wicked ass days that Esau came up with. Well, the Lord said that World War I has already passed. And it says, behold, there come two woes more hereafter, which is why we've seen World War II, but we have not seen World War III. We're seeing the beginning of World War III. And this is prophecy. This was prophesied by Christ, because clearly we are reading in the book of Revelation. But why is it that Christianity churches are not talking about this? Why are they not talking about this, right, in St. Mount Zion Mary Baptist Church? Why are they not talking about this in damn Hillsong Church, right? Or New Life, right? Or all these other different churches that are controlled by men? For the simple fact that the Most High only gave the understanding of prophecy to his chosen people, which is us, the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, the Israelites the Bible speaks of. And these are things that we have to realize. Thus said the Lord, right? So let's get into this thing, man, right? Let's get into this so that we can figure out if this is going to be the rise of World War III. Because the precepts let you know, right? All the things that you are seeing, y'all, let you know the times that we're living in, right? Now, let's get the book of Ezekiel, right? Bear with me. All right, let me stop sharing my screen. All right. Right. And brothers already posting precepts. You see that? Zephaniah 10, right? See, brothers is excited about this, man. Sisters, y'all should be excited about this, man. We're tired of living in this wicked ass captivity. We want thee to speed up. That's what we want. Right? Now let's go to the book of Ezekiel. Right? Y'all bear. Let me share my screen again. Let's go to the book of Ezekiel, chapter 36, verse 5. 1 second. Again, y'all bear with me. You know what I'm saying? Internet, due to this weather and wind. But the word is going to come out anyway. You see that? Now let's deal with it. All right, this is Ezekiel chapter 36, verse 5. Therefore, thus said Yahweh, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen. Right? See, the Most High is putting spirits in these other wicked nations to send out fire, right? Because that's the sign of his jealousy, right? In the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen. See, the Most High is jealous, you know what I'm saying, that we're not in our chosen land. The Most High is jealous, right, for the fact that we have lost our heritage and our nationality. The Most High is jealous to the fact that we have imposters calling themselves the children of God, which is madness. And he says, I have spoken against the residue of the heathen, right? Not the Israelites, the heathen, and against all Idumea. He had to get specific with this, the prophet Ezekiel, Salakia. Why is Ezekiel getting very specific when it's talking about Idumea? Because you have to understand that the earth has been given into the hands of the wicked, like spoken about in Job 9 and 24. Who is that wicked? Well, according to the prophet Malachi, who got the words from the Most High, right? That would be the Edomites, the so-called white man, right? That the Bible is speaking of. Because at the end of the day, wherever wickedness surrounds, there is a so-called white man right behind it with his face in a picture frame, smiling at you with them nasty yellow teeth and wrinkled skin, right? Then he kind of does this to his hair and flakes come out, right? So it says, against all Idumea, which have appointed my land into their possession with the joy of all their heart, with despiteful minds to cast it out for a prey. So these Edomites have taken over our land due to the fact that we didn't keep the law, statutes, and commandments as Israelites. Let's keep it 100. But they took it to a whole nother extreme level, right? Which is why the Most High says that surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen. And it says that they appointed our land into their possession with the joy of all their heart, which means they take joy and pleasure in the fact that they have stripped us from our land, stripped us from our nationality. Have our people walking around here thinking that they just niggas and spits, man, right? And things of that nature, right? With despiteful minds to cast it out for a prey. So these are the things that we have to realize. And what does he say in verse 6? What is Ezekiel telling the men of the Lord, which is what we've been doing? Verse 6, prophesy therefore concerning the land of Israel, and say unto the mountains and to the hills and to the rivers and to the valleys, right? Thus saith Yahweh, behold, I have spoken in my jealousy and in my fury. Salakia, that my screen is not sharing, right? We should be sharing this, but I'm at Ezekiel 36 in verse 5. Prophesy therefore concerning the land of Israel, and say unto the mountains and to the hills and to the rivers and to the valleys, thus saith the Lord God, behold, I have spoken in my jealousy and in my fury, because ye have borne the shame of the heathen. You see that? And our people want to sit there and follow the ways of these wicked devils. We got to get out of that. We have to get out of that. Thus saith the Lord. Right now, the brother brought out a precept. Right? Brother brought out a precept. Right? My brother, right? Let's see. I don't know why it's not. There we go. Right? This is Hebrews chapter 10, verse 23. Let us hold fast the profession of our faith without wavering, for he is faithful that promise. So we got to hold fast while we're seeing destruction. Not hold on to that faith, right? We used to hear that old song in the world, hold on to your love, right? You got to hold on to the love which of the Most High, which is keeping the commandments. So if you're looking for answers, when we see World War III on the rise, and you may be worried about, oh, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? The Most High just gave you the answer. Keep the commandments and hold on tight to them, and pray that you shall scarcely be saved. Because understand that in first, I want to say is 2 Peter 4 and 16 through 17, or it might be 1 Peter, one of the two. Right? Let me get that real quick, right? Let me go there real quick. Let me go to 1 Peter. And then we're going to really get into this thing, right? I got some stuff I want to show y'all, which I'm pretty sure y'all have been seeing, right? So let's go to 1 Peter. That's what I want. 1 Peter chapter 4, and we're going to start at verse 17, right? 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 17. For the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of God. And we are the house of God as Israelites, which is why you are seeing judgment at an all-time high, starting with our people. Our people getting shot down the streets, dying of gang violence, drug overdose. You got celebrity marriages breaking up, right? With that damn Jada Pinkett spirit, you know what I'm saying? Which I call her Jada Pinkett Shakur Alcina Smith spirit. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? And if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of the Most High, right? And if the righteous, key thing, this is verse 18, and if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear? So we're striving our best to be righteous, but understand, if you are being righteous in the eyes of the Most High Yahweh, you're barely going to make it out of this thing. You see that? This is why our forefather Jacob, whose name got changed to Israel, let us know to gather ourselves together. Old nation not desire. Gather ourselves together so that I may tell you what shall befall you in the last days. Because believe it or not, y'all, we living in the last days. Now let's get the book of Daniel chapter 11. Let's get into this thing. Let me share my screen. Bear with me. Bear with me. All right, this is the book of Daniel, chapter 11, verse 14. Matter of fact, I think I want to start at 13. Yeah, let's start at 13. All right, let's start at 13. I like this. Right? Understand too, when you're reading the scriptures, there is a lot of great history that has already took place. Beautiful history, right? That we have seen with our mighty forefathers. But understand that everything that was done before, right, is going to be done today. Nothing is new under the sun. So when you're reading a lot of these scriptures, right, it's good to understand the time frame as far as dealing with these biblical stories, right? So that you know when this stuff took place. But understand as well that what happened yesterday, what happened back then is also happening right now, right? This is Daniel chapter 11, verse 13. For the king of the north, I don't know why it's not sharing my screen. Still not sharing my screen. Hold on one second. Y'all. One second. Says browser connected to see if this continues. This is madness. See, and I got stuff I need to share, y'all. You see that? We're gonna try something else, man. We're gonna try something else. Bear with me. Give me 1 second. Bear with me. This is madness. Bear with me. We're gonna do something else. This is how we're gonna do it. Let's try this. Let's try this. All right, let's go to the book of Daniel. Let's see if this works. Let me know if y'all can see my screen. Let's see. Looks like it might be working now. All right, there we go. All praise to the Most High, man. Get a Most High hand. All right, here we go. This is the book of Daniel, chapter 11. We're going to start at verse 13 and read through 14. For the king of the north shall return and shall set forth a multitude greater than the former, and shall certainly come after certain years with a great army and with much riches. You see that? So Daniel understood, right? Especially dealing with prophecy from the dream that was revealed to him, that wicked King Nebuchadnezzar could not figure out, right? That you're going to have a great multitude that shall come from the north, right? With a greater army and with much riches. Verse 14. And in those times, there shall many stand up against the king of the south, right? Who is this talking about, the king of the south? This is talking about Egypt, right? As the robbers of thy people shall exalt themselves to establish the vision, but they shall fall. So you had wicked Alexander the Freak, right, conquer pretty much all the land. Then they were conquered, right, by the Romans, which are all Edomites at the end of the day. And they established the vision to exalt themselves as us, which is why in 1948, they established themselves as the nation of Israel, as if they had really inherited the actual Holy Land. No, they're just imposters living in our land, which is why destruction is at nigh, right? The Lord is tired of these fake ass damn Edomites, fake, right? Fake these Israelis, right? Who are nothing but Arabs and Ishmaelites, right? These Palestinians, He's tired of them dwelling in our land, y'all. To the point he had to put a spirit in the Hamas Lamas to create drama. Y'all know I love saying that, right? That is the phrase of this month. The Hamas Lamas bringing the drama, right? So the king of the north shall come and cast up a mount and take the most fenced cities, and the arms of the south shall not withstand, neither his chosen people, neither shall there be any strength to withstand, because us as being a chosen people, we have been scattered on all four corners of the earth. We are like this, we are numbered like the sands of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. So we have to realize that, man. Right? Let's get the book of Micah. Right? Let's go to the book of Micah. Right? Let's see. Let's get the book of Micah. I want chapter 2. And I want let's start at verse 1. This is Micah chapter 2, verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds, right? So the Lord says destruction to these people that devise iniquity. And we know that's dealing with Esau, right? That's why, what are you going to do? This is why David said in Psalms 94 and 16, who will rise up against the workers of iniquity? And this is what we're doing as men of the Lord in this truth. Sisters, this is what you're doing by keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, right? And operating like a princess the Most High told you to be, and not operating like the world. You're rising up against the workers of iniquity. What did the Lord say they do? And work evil upon their beds when the morning is light, they practice it, right? Because it is in the power of their hand. Which means the moment that they wake up at the crack of dawn, they yawn and kind of, First thing to come out their mouth is, who can I kill? Who can I steal? Who can I destroy? That's our enemies, and that's their mindset. We read about that in Psalms 83. They literally create crafty counsel. Verse 2. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. And that's what our enemies have done, right? When you're seeing these Israelis, which are nothing but these Arabs, right, talking about send aid for Israel. Well, they've covered our fields. They took in us by violence, right? They took in our houses. They literally taken us away. They have oppressed us, right? And they have literally they took our heritage, right? Because they want to be like the so-called white men. See, this is why Revelation talks about how all these other wicked nations are drunk with the wine of the fornication of Babylon, Babylon the Great, right? Verse 3, it says, therefore, thus said Yahweh, behold, against this family do I devise an evil, for which ye shall not remove your necks, neither shall ye go haughtily, for this time is evil. See, the Lord said that there is a time and a place for everything in Ecclesiastes, right? There's a time for war. There's a time for hate. There's a time for love. There's a time for peace. There's a time to pluck up, right? And plant. Right now is a time for evil. Right now is a time for war. Why? Because the Lord has devised an evil against these wicked devils. And you used to hear in damn church, well, the Lord, he works in mysterious ways. Well, he's definitely doing it in a mysterious way by putting a spirit in Palestine and a spirit in Israelis to go at one another. over a land that they both don't belong in. Let's keep it 100, right? Let's get the book of Deuteronomy. Matter of fact, let's go to Revelation. That's what I want. Let's go to Revelation. Revelation 2 and 9. Right? See, these devils, you know, this stuff is happening for a reason. Right? They're not the real Jews the Bible speaks of. Last I checked, to be a Jew, you have to actually be from the tribe of Judah, Benjamin, or Levi. This is Revelation chapter 2, verse 9. The classic. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty. See, the Lord is speaking to us as Israelites in that phrase, right? He knows the works that we put in by trying to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. He knows the works that we put in by building up all four corners of the earth. He also knows the tribulation that we've gone through, right? And he knows the poverty that our people are going through. But he says, but thou art rich. And we know why he's saying that we're rich, but Christianity is not going to teach that. See, we're rich in spirit because we know, according to Romans chapter 9, verses 1 all the way on down, right? That the promises, the glory, the covenants, the service of God, they're all for us as Israelites. So he says, but thou art rich, and I know the blasphemy, which is lies, of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. So this is the reason why we are seeing the rise of World War III, because we have imposters living in our land, right? And the Lord has to cleanse this land through fire, just like he had to cleanse the land through water. The second death is through fire, and it's coming to all lands. These are the things we have to realize, man. Right? Let me get the book of let's get the book of Jeremiah. Let's go to Jeremiah. Let's get into this thing. All right, let's get the book of Jeremiah, chapter 49. We're going to start at verse 20. And then I'm going to show you guys some images, man, that you guys have probably already seen. Then I'm going to show you some images, right? Because I'm not going to play no videos. We might get flagged, right? So we're going to start with Jeremiah chapter 49. Let's start at verse 20. I'm going to read all the way to 24. It says, therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord. When it's talking about hearing the counsel of the Lord, it's talking about the scriptures, the words of the Lord, right? That he's given to the prophets, that he's given to the evangelists, right? To the real ministers of this truth, that he hath taken against Edom, and his purposes that he hath proposed against the inhabitants of Teman, right? Teman dealing with the so-called white man's military. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Who is the least of the flock? Dealing with Edom. Because the Lord said that the least of the flock shall draw them, right? The inhabitants of Teman, which is the military, draw them out. Well, we know who that is, right? Those that say they are Jews and are not, right? These wicked Amaleks, right? The Ashkenaz, right? What we call the small hat community, with the damn, took a piece of dry top ramen and posted to the side of their heads and said that they're curls, right? That doesn't really curl all the way. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. You see that? Verse 21. The earth is moved at the noise of their fall. At the cry, the noise thereof was heard in the Red Sea. So the earth right now is being moved at the noise of their fall, right? You got a lot of turmoil going on in Israel. And the earth is moved, right? Hey, us as men of the Lord, hey, we're moved, right? But we're moved into excitement. We're moved into rejoicing because of the fall of our enemies. Meanwhile, you have Christianity, Catholicism, you got protests going on, right? In support, right? To pick them up from their fall so that they can walk again. No, us as men of the Lord, we not praying for that, right? But right now, everything on the news, right, is dealing with their fall. And Christ prophesied about this, man. At the cry, not Christ, Salakia, Jeremiah. At the cry, the noise thereof was heard in the Red Sea. Behold, he shall come up and fly as the eagle, right? And spread his wings over Basra. And at that day shall the heart of the mighty men of Edom be as the heart of a woman in her pangs, right? So you're going to have Edom that's literally trying to send aid and help to defend Israel, right? Or Israeli, right? But they're going to fail. They're going to end up being destroyed. They're going to lose, right? Right? These Edomites have lost many wars. And these are things that we have to realize. Thus said the Lord, man. Right? Thus said Yahweh. Right? Now, let's get the book of Isaiah chapter 14 and really get the understanding. Because remember, if we're going to use certain verses, we got to make sure that we understand the context of these verses, right? This is Isaiah chapter 14. Let's start at verse 24. The Lord of hosts hath sworn, saying, surely as I have thought, so shall it come to pass, and as I have proposed, so shall it stand. So the Lord has sworn that destruction is coming upon our enemies. The Lord has sworn that it shall stand. There is nothing that you can do about it as far as trying to stop World War III, right? Verse 25, that I will break the Assyrian in my land, and upon my mountains tread him underfoot. Then shall his yoke depart from off them, and his burden depart from off their shoulders. It says, verse 26, this is the purpose that is proposed upon the whole earth, and this is the hand that is stretched out upon all the nations. You see that? So the stuff that we're seeing, man, was set to happen, right? But this, in this context, is talking about this was actually already fulfilled. But the Lord will still, because remember, it says in Romans 15 and 4, it says to inquire of the former age. The things that were written in the past time were written for our learning. So if you're wanting to learn why this stuff is going on, look at what has happened in the past, right? It says, verse 27 again, for the Lord of hosts hath proposed, and who shall disannul it? And his hand is stretched out, and who shall turn it back? So who's going to stop Yahweh from causing war to happen? Who was going to stop Yahweh back then from causing this to happen, right? And when did this happen? It says in verse 28, in the year that King Ahaz died was this burden, right? Was this burden. Now, who was King Ahaz, right? Let's get that. Let's see if we can get that, right? Let's find out who King Ahaz is, right? Let me zoom in a little bit. All right. Lord willing, brothers. The king of Judah. We read about him, right? Kingdom and the northern kingdom. Spelled Akaz, Assyrian Jehoaz, right? It says that flourished in the 8th century BC, right? He was the king of Judah, and his reign was from around 735 to 720 BC. I say around 730 BC, right? To 7, well, I say about 730 BC, right? But Britannica, they're saying 735. Who became an Assyrian vassal, right? Right, as read about in 2 Kings 16, right? It says that Ahaz assumed the throne of Judah at the age of 20 or 25. Sometime later, his kingdom was invaded by Pekah, king of Israel, and Rezin, king of Syria, in an effort to force him into alliance with them against the powerful state of Assyria. All right, what about now? Put a Salakia, y'all. Satan trying to stop the word. You ain't lying, right? Put a one in the chat if y'all can hear me. Put a one in the chat if y'all can hear me, y'all. Put a one in the chat if y'all can hear me. All right, man. Damn, Satan trying to stop this word, bro. Man. Salakia, y'all. It's a bunch of madness going on. All right, we're going to get back to it, bro. Let's get back to it. They don't want us to talk about the Hamas llamas bringing the drama? Damn. All right, let's try it again. All right, let me share my screen, bro. This is madness, bro. Oh, my goodness. All right, 1 second, man. Bear with me. Bear with me. Bear with me. Let's get back to it. All right, let's go back to it. Let's go back to. All right, can y'all hear me still? All right, can y'all hear me? As we just shared, as I'm sharing this screen. Damn, it's going slow. Like sleepy, slow Joe Biden. You know what? I may not just. All right, this is what we're going to do because it's not sharing my screen. Hold on. This is madness. This is madness. Video lagging. Okay. Yeah, I see it in these comments. All right, hold on. We're gonna try this one time. If not, I'm just gonna keep it, you know what I'm saying? All right, 1 second, man. Bro, I cannot. One second. Said reset your internet. That might cut this off, y'all. You know what I'm saying? You know what? Let's see. Hold on. Bear with me. Bear with me. All right. Let me know if y'all can see these images, man. All right. And if you can still hear me. Put a one in the chat if you can hear me and see these images. We are looking at Israelis and Hamas war images, right? Look at that explosion, bro. Does that explosion look like a missile that just misfired? No, that looks like it's accurate, right? Right? Look at these heathens, man. Right? Look at these men crying like a travailing woman, like a woman getting ready to give birth. That's what they do. Look at this. They got him on a stretcher. They kind of carrying him. That's what they do with women when they're getting ready to give birth. They kind of put them on that bed with the wheels on it, you know, and they hurry up and push you down that hallway, right? All right, let's look at some more images. Look at this. Look at him crying, man. What you crying for? What is you crying for? Right? The Lord don't hear their lamentations. He only hears the lamentations of the Israelites. Right? You have no reason to be crying knowing that you have stolen our land. Right? You see that? And pretty soon, hey, this is coming to America near you. This will be coming to America near you. Oh, these images are funny. Ooh, look at the three little women crying. You see that? You see that? Look at that. And I don't know, y'all been seeing, look at this one to the left, all the way to the left. Brothers have been seeing this out on the highways and hedges in every single city in Babylon the Great, waving that nasty green, white, and red and black flag, right? In support for the Palestinians, right? Because Israelis are fighting back. They fighting back and then they lying about it, right? They're fighting back and then lying and saying that it was a misfire. Look at these missiles all the way over here to the right, y'all. Look at the right side of this picture. That's coming to America near you. Right? Did the Lord say that the stars shall fall from the heavens? When you were looking at missiles, right, in this, remember, John the Revelator got this vision. These are the visions that John the Revelator received. And that looks like stars falling from the heavens, man. Right? You see that? Let's get some more. All right. Let's get some more. What else they got up? Ooh, look at that. Look at that one all the way to the right, y'all. Look at this one all the way to the right. Right there. That looks like a stage for Call of Duty, Warzone, right? Online. You see that? And we say call halal Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai for that, man. Right? Let's get some more images. All right, let's get some more images. All right. Let's see if I got some more images over here. All right, let's read about this. Right? Let's read about Gaza. Right? Gaza hospital explode. This is exciting news. Damn, man. They got me on perm. They trying to put me on mute. I'm gonna have to shorten this up. Appreciate your guys' patience, but I'm gonna have to shorten this up. Let's just get down to the nitty gritty, bro. Let's just get down to the nitty gritty. Y'all know what's going on, right? Y'all see what's happening, man. Right? They don't want us to reveal this news, right? Look for it yourselves, because they know a lot of our people are too busy streaming and scrolling on their phones, looking at a bunch of madness that has nothing to do with prophecy, right? So let's get the book of I want to get the book Second Ezra chapter 5 verse 42. Right? Second Ezra chapter 5 verse 42. Right? Let's get that. And I'm not going to, you got to go back to the hard copy, right? So let's get the book of Second Ezra chapter 5 verse 42. We just got a few more. All right. Second Ezra chapter 5 verse 42. And it says, and he said unto me, I will liken my judgment unto a ring, like as there is no slackness of the last, even so there is no swiftness of the first. See, the Lord likens his judgment like a ring. A ring just goes round and round and never stops. Right? So the judgment that are happening upon these wicked nations will not stop until the children of the real children of Israel are placed back into the Holy Land where we belong. Period. It's just right. And because of this, you know what I'm saying, you got all hell breaking loose, man. You got these Shiites, right, cutting themselves, right? Y'all haven't seen. I gotta share my screen on that one. Hold on. Let me see if I can. Let me show y'all this real quick, right? Let me show y'all this, right? These Shiites, man. All right. Let's see if we can get this, man. Y'all bear with me. There we go. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Anyways, y'all type in Shiites. I think it's SHIITES. Shiite Muslims. Right? Because of all the drama that's going on, right? They're literally cutting themselves. And this was a practice that they started, right, when the son of the Prophet Muhammad died. Right? So the brother says, I've heard. Hold on, man. I can't even share these comments, bro. They're not liking this at all. All right. Brother said, I got a friend who's heard a little bit about this war, too busy trying to be a singer. You see that? Right? Right. This ain't the time to be trying to be the top singer in Israel, the top rapper in Israel. Right? Now, don't get it twisted. I do music, y'all know, right? When I have time, I barely have time to do that. All right. I barely have time to do that. That's why when I do this project, I literally, you know what I'm saying, try to get the project done as soon as possible. And then I take years of breaks. You see that? And Shalom, my mighty brother Amiyar, right, from WFI Seattle in the chat. Shalom. Right? Shalom. So let's get the book. I wanted to share my screen, y'all, but Esau is hating on this stream right now, you know, along with the wind out here in the Pacific Northwest, kind of shaking up, you know what I'm saying? The damn wires. And Brother Malek, Brother Malek, actually you can search my music on all platforms. All you have to do is just search Zamran, Zamran, right? Search Zamran, right? I think I got about, I search Zamran. You can go check that out, man. All right, now let's get back to the matter at hand. Right? Let's get back to the matter at hand. Let's get the book of Jeremiah, chapter 47. Right? Let's get the book of Jeremiah, chapter 47. That whole chapter is good, by the way. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 47. We get a few more, right? And then we'll hit it with the banger with Matthew 24. Right? This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 47. Let's get it. And let's start at verse 1. Let's start at verse 1. Jeremiah chapter 47, verse 1. And it says, the word of the Lord that came to Jeremiah, the prophet, against who? The Philistines, which will be Palestine of today, right? But these modern day Palestinians are not the ancient Philistines. Right? Even they are imposters, right? They being imposters to these Hamites, man. I bet Hamites are over there right now looking at these Palestinians, man, right? And they're probably rejoicing because they're like, they know that they trying to be like them. You see that? So let's read this again. Jeremiah 47 and 1. The word of the Lord that came to Jeremiah, the prophet, against the Philistines before that Pharaoh smote Gaza, right? And you have many pharaohs. You have modern day pharaohs of today, right? We've seen attacks on Gaza right now. In this time period, it's not talking about what we're seeing right now, but nothing is new under the sun. See that? Verse 2. Thus said Yahweh, behold, waters rise up out of the north, and shall be an overflowing flood, and shall overflow the land and all that is therein, the city and them that dwell therein. Then the men shall cry, and all the inhabitants of the land shall howl. Right? So it says that it's going to be waters that's going to rise up out of the north. Right? But when we're looking at what's going on over there, it's not floods that's going on. It's fire. Fire. So what is it talking about, these waters? Well, we have to understand that nations are known as waters. I'm going to go to Jeremiah 46 and 7 to prove that. Right? This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 46, verse 7. And if I can start at verse 6. Let not the swift flee away, nor the mighty man escape. They shall stumble and fall toward the north by the river Euphrates. Who is this that cometh up as a flood, whose waters are moved as the rivers? And then in verse 8 it says, Egypt riseth up like a flood. You understand that? So nations are referred to as waters, even spoken about in Revelation, I want to say chapter 17, verse 15, right? That when it was talking about the seas, right? That whore, that great whore that sits upon many waters, right? That in verse 15, that the waters is dealing with different nations and tongues and people, right? Verse 3, at the noise, this is back to Jeremiah 47, verse 3. At the noise of the stamping of the hoofs and of his strong horses, at the rushing of his chariots, at the rumbling of his wheels, the fathers shall not look back to their children for feebleness of hands. Because of the day that cometh to spoil all the Philistines, and to cut off from Tyrus and Zidon every helper that remaineth. For the Lord will spoil the Philistines, the remnant, the country of Captivor. Right? So you're gonna have America. You got America that's trying to help out, right? These Israelis, right, to go against Palestine, and that's gonna really spark up World War III. because you have different alliances and leagues with all these different nations that are in cahoots with one another, right? If they help out the Israelis, it's going to spark up the spirit in the Russians, right, and China and all their counterparts to go at America. So these are things that we have to realize, right? You have the U.S. military that's getting themselves involved. They're already shipping people over there right now. But little do they know, while they're shipping the U.S. military over there to, to what's going on there in Israel to fight against the Palestinians, to try to put an end to the Hamas Lamas bringing the drama, the Hamas are sending over their own militia over here to America. And we're going to see if they're going to do the same thing that they're doing over here in America. So nation is rising against nation, right? Let's end it with this. Let's get the book of Matthew, chapter 24, the classic. Let's go to the book of Matthew, chapter 24. All right. I want to see if I can sharing your screen. Let's see that, bro. 1 second. 1 second. Y'all bear with me. Let me see if I can. I want to share this verse so we can read this together. All right, bear with me. Lord willing, brothers can still hear me. Despite the lagging, despite Esau cutting off the audio, right? See that? All right, let's go to Matthew chapter 24. Let's start at verse 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? So if you're not paying attention to what's going on, you're missing out on the signs. You're missing out on the sign of the coming of Yahweh Shai, which means that you have no clue that you're living in the end of the world. Verse 4. And Yahweh Shai answered, Salakia, and Yahweh Shai answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. So do not be deceived by protest, thinking that that's going to end what's going on. Do not be deceived by these wicked devils taking up offerings and raising up money to help out these other nations that are in need due to the destruction. Do not be deceived, right? Thinking that the Most High is not allowing this stuff to happen or that he's going to change. Verse 5, for many shall come in my name saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. Verse 6, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. So we've heard of World War I. We've heard of World War II. We've heard of the Vietnam War, Desert Storm, right? The Afghanistan War. Now we're hearing a rumor, right? We've heard of, of China and Taiwan. We've heard of Russia and Ukraine. Now we're hearing of Iran, right? And the Israelis. And guess what? We're hearing rumors of World War III. Christ says, see that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Why? For nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. So we have to prepare our spirits in these last days, Israel. we have to prepare our spirits in these last days and realize that we are living in the end times. All these things that we are seeing are the beginning of sorrows, thus said the Lord, man. And World War III is on the rise. The signs are being presented to us right in our face. Are we going to pay attention to these signs? Or are we just going to ignore the signs and just continue to just be in mirth? Continue to just keep living, right? Like the rest of these wicked devils, man, who don't give a damn about us. No, the Lord cares about us, man. And if you truly understand that, then you will keep watch in these last days. Keep watch in these last days, right? Let me get one more, right? You have to keep watch, said the Lord, right? Let me get that. Bear with me. We have to keep watch in these last days. All right, let me share my screen. Let's do it. Let's end it with 2nd Ezra chapter 9, the classic. Right? Let's end it with 2nd Ezra chapter 9, the classic. Let me share my screen, Ezra. All right, let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. What is that wicked? What's his name? Lil Pump. What does he say? Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. 2nd Ezra chapter 9, verse 1. It says, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. Look at the times that we're living in, y'all. Are you measuring the time diligently? Are you being diligent by keeping watch, by keeping up with the news as far as what's going on with this war? Right? And it says, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, verse 2, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Right? And verse 3 tells you how he visits the world which he made. Verse 3, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes, we just had a 4.5 earthquake over here in Seattle literally a couple weeks ago, right? And uproars of the people in the world. What you're seeing over there dealing with Iranians, right? And the Israelis, what you're seeing between Russia and Ukraine, what you're seeing between China and Taiwan, what you're seeing here in United Snakes of America between the police and blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, these are uproars of the people. Verse 4, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning, right? For like all, verse 5, for like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. Even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings in wonder and powerful works, and endings in effects and signs. Right? And he gives us the blueprint in verse 7, right? On how we're going to be able to escape, right? World War III, right? Jacob's trouble, which is on the rise. It says in verse 7, and every one that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works. How do we escape? Right? The turmoils, right? The perilous times that we're seeing by his what? By his works and by faith, whereby ye have believed. This is why the Bible says that faith without works is dead, right? So those of you who have faith in the Most High through his son Christ, You're not doing the works to show that, you're not going to be saved, right? You might end up getting drafted, right, into this World War III, right? You may end up getting, you know what I'm saying, killed during Jacob's trouble, right? Right? Verse 8. So those basically saying that if you keep the works in the faith, it says in verse 8, shall be preserved from the sad perils, the perilous times, like spoken about in 2 Timothy chapter 3, right? And shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders, for I have sanctified them for me from the beginning. So you have to ask yourself, y'all. You have to ask yourself, were you sanctified from the beginning? Right? Those are the type of questions that we have to answer ourselves and look at self-examination. Right? And like the brother said, man, you might get refusing to go to war, man. Right? Or you might get killed for that. Right? You got brother, I'm gonna be like Muhammad Ali. I'm gonna be like Cassius Clay. Right? Your daddy calls you Cassius, I'm calling you Cassius. Right? I'm gonna be like him. Right? Ain't nothing gonna happen to me. You know what I'm saying? They do lock me up, they'll probably lock me up for a day and I get out. No, this ain't no Muhammad Ali. Right? If they draft you to go to war, you gotta go. If you don't, hey man, you might get killed. Right? These are things we gotta realize, man. So if I was a so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American, man or woman in the current military right now, I would do just like the movie, right? And damn, hit that teacup or break that teacup and get out. If you are in the military, break that damn teacup and get out. Because you're going to end up fighting against the Most High. And you will find that out, man. Thus saith the Lord, man. Right? So, hey, man, Salakia for the live stream, bro. I promise things are going to get better, right? Through the Spirit of the Most High, Lord willing. But for those of you who are edified and who stayed with me and stayed on, you know what I'm saying, through the Spirit, the water for your patience. So with that, giving all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, by Hashem HaMashiach Kamalak Yahweh Shai. I want to say shalom to everybody that's in the chat, right? Let's see who we had here today, right? Because I love every one of my Israelites, man. LaMonica Jones, right? Shalom, right? My brother Debar, my cousin Dre, right? Shalom, right? So many to name, right? Shalom, you know what I'm saying? To everybody that's in the chat, I can't name them all because, again, this internet is acting crazy, man. All right. But, hey, my brother Isaiah, the water for the precept pulling, man. Shalom. And shalom to all my brothers in WFI as a whole. And all the camps doing the work worldwide. I love y'all, man. Right? Let's stay enduring in this thing. Let's keep the law, statutes, and commandments. Let's keep watch, man. Right? And let's just get down to it, man. Right? We trying to get the hell up out of here. And we're that close. We are that close, y'all. So, shalom. Kwam Yashua.